MightyHive has just been growing so quickly, and probably about a year ago we decided that in order to really continue to grow to our potential, and we've been doubling or so every year, but we knew that if we had just doubled in 2019, we would have left an awful lot of clients disappointed, and we didn't want to do that. And so we decided to explore our options around how to grow even faster, and we called the entire process Growth Capital. And we looked at all the options strategically, everything from taking on debt and retaining 100% of our equity to strategic investments, all the way to 100% merging with other entities. And so we ran all of the different processes and came up with an answer, and we are thrilled with the place where we landed. Working with Martin Sorrell is an absolute honor.
Pete, tell me about the opportunities for the company in housing, what that means, a little bit about your services and sort of the opportunities for growth.
Sure. So I think it's a surprise to nobody that one of the hottest topics on everyone's minds these days is in-housing. And when we think about it as one of the leading in-housing services providers in the world, we like to think about it as not quite so binary. Many people have talked about the notion of control and taking back control. And the things that we have always thought about is control is not a binary state, right? You're not in control or not in control. There's always going to be a range of options in between those. And whether it's fully in-housing or fully outsourced, there's an infinite number of options in between on that spectrum. And so MightyHive believes that it's our goal and our mission to help all of the marketers in the world, because we do indeed believe that every single marketer on the planet has to transform in some way, shape, or form. But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. What our job is to help somebody and help our clients to figure out where on that spectrum they should land, and then actually help them get there. And so whether that is 100% in-housing or an embedded solution, or in-housing of one function such as media buying or creative, but leaving other parts outsourced, that's fine. So we think that this is all going to be part and parcel of massive changes that are going to be hitting the industry over the next few years.
And Pete, tell me the companies that are focused, that you're targeting for your business. Is it sort of the direct-to-consumer? Is it the big companies? What's the range?
Well, I think it's interesting. What you would see is that a lot of the direct-to-consumer companies probably don't need our help quite as much. I think that from their perspective, they've been in-house from the beginning because they've embraced a culture of speed and innovation and growth right from the mindset, that mindset right from the outset. And in some ways, what we're trying to do is to help other companies to transform in order to keep up. And it's going to be a very, very, very interesting battle in this particular front, from between the sort of incumbents and then the new challengers, as it always is. And so we've got, for us, we have clients that need our help, and we're happy to assist them as they continue on their transformation journey.
Great. And what are your thoughts about this whole direct-to-consumer movement? There's a big discussion here at the IAB.
I think it's for real. I really do. If you kind of go back to it get back to first principles, there was indeed a big period of history where the only way to distribute a product was through a retail environment, and so you needed to have that extra step inside of the selling through a channel, if you will, whether that be a retailer or whether that be a dealership in the automotive industry, or sometimes even to a movie theater in the entertainment industry. And the advent of technologies like the internet and so on and so forth have changed distribution models. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but I am saying that there is definitely some change on the horizon. For the direct-to-consumer brands, it's very interesting, right? They can basically use the fact that they sell direct to the consumers to give them a couple of advantages, which is going to be enhanced profits, which they can share with the consumer, which may end up as lower prices and or better quality, and in addition have more profit for themselves. On the other hand, You can also have, because you're talking directly to the consumer, you have a direct relationship with that consumer, which allows you to market to them better, understand them better, and that also has benefits inside of the consumer life cycle. Now, against that backdrop, there's always going to be competition from the incumbents who aren't going to take this laying down. They too can go direct to the consumer, and they too can adopt some of the best practices that are coming up forward, and we'll see exactly how all of this ends up. But in terms of the specifics around the direct-to-consumer model, I think it's real.